Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I created this beautiful bridal look on my model Natalia. As usual, first I'm starting by cleansing the skin, and this time I'm using Micro Essence from Estee Lauder. This is a wonderful first step in any makeup application, especially for the bride. Not only this lotion will help me to remove any impurities from the surface of the skin, but it will also rebalance the skin and leave the appearance of the skin smooth and ready to receive my further products. For my bridal work, I love to use this serum elixir from Charlotte Tilbury. One great thing about it is that it really suits most of the skin types, and I don't have a problem using it on dry skin and equally on oily skin. It's a wonderful second stage of hydration onto the skin before the cream. And for the eye cream, I chose Jones Road Eye Cream, which is a wonderful first step in the under eye area preparation. It's very lightweight, very moisturizing, and it also acts as a primer for the further products application. For the lips, I chose Laneige Sleeping Mask, which is one of my favorite products right now. Enriched with coconut oil, shea butter, and murumuru seed butter, this is a killer product that acts super fast and the lips get moisturized in a minute. For the skin, I chose Magic Cream Light from Charlotte Tilbury, and this one is very similar to the original formula but is much lighter in consistency. The reason I chose this cream this time is because Natalie's skin is actually normal. It's not dry, so I didn't need super moisturizing rich consistency. And another reason for that is also that I'm going to apply the highlighter from Lisa Eldridge all over the face. So the highlighter is very reflective, and if I would pair it with a thicker cream, everything could potentially kind of run and move throughout the day. I'm layering products in a smart way, guys. Moving on to the foundation, I chose to mix these two, the Touche Eclat from YSL and also Forever from Dior. Now, this was my first time mixing these two together, and actually the formulas kind of agreed with each other. I didn't have any problem blending it, and it actually didn't separate throughout the photo shoot. My main reason for mixing these two was actually just to get the right color for Natalie, but if you ask me would I use this combination again, I'm not sure if I would, but this did work for this photo shoot. And as usual, I am applying the foundation with the flat synthetic brush first, and once I coated the skin, I then go over with a beauty blender and push everything deeper into the skin for that super seamless finish. I prefer to use my beauty blender wet, but if you prefer to use it dry, this is also an option, whatever works for you guys. You can see me using small patting motions. This is how I ensure that every single stage, every single border that I created with the brush is fully blended. And of course, I'm taking the foundation down the neck, and as my chest area is also exposed, I actually will move on and add the foundation onto the chest as well. I think at this point I've mixed a little bit of Nivea body cream into my foundation and perhaps a little bit of the body highlighter too, just for that seamless, kind of like natural glowing finish. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes, and to prepare the eyelid area, as usual, I'm using Soft Matte Concealer from NARS. And to create the perfect shade, I mixed the shade Chantilly and Tiramisu together. I'm applying the concealer with the synthetic concealer brush from MAC in a very fine layer. You guys don't want to create thick layers on the eyelids. And the first color on the eyes is going to be Lisa Eldridge palette in Myth. And the color I chose is Mauve Decade. It's a very beautiful mauve eyeshadow and it glides on so perfectly. You can see me applying the most of the color on the outer corner of the eye and also pushing the color into the crease. Then I'm switching the brushes and using a thinner, more detailing brush and packing the color exactly in the crease area for that extra definition and the depth around that area. Next, I'm defining the lash line, and for this I chose the MUA Gray Eye Pencil, which is a wonderful eye kajal. It's very soft and it blends into the skin super easily. And you can see I'm taking the bullet brush and then softly smudging the edges and also elongating the liner. So it's going to be kind of first definition, my first area marking for the liner that I'm going to apply further in this makeup application. Then I need to set the liner in place, and for this I'm going to use this Dior 5 Color Couture eyeshadow palette in the color Tutu. And with this darker aubergine color, I'm going to duplicate the shadow that I just created with the kajal. So this will intensify the color and also set the creamy pencil in place, so everything is staying. As we all know, wedding is a long day, and this is why it's important to work in layers and set each layer in place. I wanted the eyes to be the main focal point of this look. So what I'm doing next is the same pencil I am applying on the lash line of the inner corner of the eye. This will add an extra definition and also will enlarge the eyes a little bit more. Then with this middle color from the same Dior palette, I'm using it to define the crease. So I'm adding a little bit more depth into the crease area. And you can see how much bigger the eye looks already, and this was my goal. I wanted the eyes to be big and very, very defined. Next, I'm going to define the lower lash line as well, and I'm using the same MUA Gray pencil to do so. And with the small motions, I am gently adding the color to the outer corners. You can see I'm adding and I'm quickly blending, and there will be a lot of back and forth kind of emotions. You will see me coming back to some areas and blending more. So here you see me gently adding the color up until the inner part of the eye, and also with a small bullet brush straight away I'm blending the color on both sides just so it doesn't grip onto the skin and doesn't leave any unnecessary patches. With the Inglot Gel Liner number 77, I'm also defining the waterline, so-called tight lining. I wanted the eyes to be super strong, as I already mentioned. And what I find is when you are defining the waterline on the blue eyes, the blue of the eyes just pops even more. And the eyes almost become like framed in a darker frame. It's just such a beautiful look in my opinion. Inglot Gel Liner sets pretty quickly and is 100% waterproof. So it's very important not to waste any minute and blend in the lash line straight away. Once I tight-lined and blended the color, I then move on to the top eyelid and I start to define the lash line with the same gel liner and also kind of duplicating and making the liner even stronger. So now I'm taking the old blending brush and making sure that there is no edges left. I want everything to be blended and the color to be transitioned seamlessly. And once I'm happy with the blending, I'm making sure that the line is super sharp by taking the cotton bud and just cleaning any excess of the product. And I'm also cleaning up the under eye area with a makeup remover app to make sure that there is no fallout left. Then I'm curling Natalia's lashes using Dear Dahlia eyelash curlers, which in my opinion are one of the strongest ones. And I'm coating the lashes in waterproof mascara from Illamasqua, which is one of my favorite waterproof mascaras at this point. And I use it a lot for my brides. When working on my private clients and my models, I usually use the fan brush to apply mascara. There are a few reasons for that. First of all, I feel like I have more control of how the mascara goes on the lashes. I feel like it separates them better. And also, I don't throw away disposables in the bin after every use, which means I am more safe for the environment. Once the mascara is done, I then popped some individual lashes, and while they're drying, I'm going to carve the eyelid area. And for that, I'm also using the NARS concealer. So this will give me a perfect base for the lighter eyeshadow application, and the color of the lighter eyeshadow will be more prominent because of this. The key here is to apply the concealer in a very fine layer and also to blend the edges into any existing eyeshadow. Now this can be a messy stage, but if you use small enough brushes and work carefully, you should have no problem in blending it. And to pop the middle part of the eye, I am using the Uptown Girl palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and I am patting the lightest shade of the color exactly in the same place where I have applied this concealer. So this is a wonderful way of layering the products again. By patting the concealer with the eyeshadows, we are setting everything in place. Again, this will contribute for a very long wearing makeup. And I'm also popping the middle part with a little bit of shimmer from the same palette. On the outer corners of the eyes, I decided to pop 3/4 mini lashes. And as you see, I am actually applying it past the outer corner of the eye, right into the winged liner that I have created. This will create the eye kind of appearing even larger. So this will visually enlarge the eye area. And also following up with the gel liner all across the eyelid from the very beginning to the very end to create an extra definition and kind of stronger wing. Now to clean up the area, I'm using a NARS Soft Concealer again and softly blending the edges and into the underbrow bone area. For the brow gel, again, I'm using the Got To Be Brow Gel, which is super amazing. It's very strong and it keeps the brows in place all day. I really rate it. And then I wanted to fill the eyebrows with the Blonde Brow Pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And for that, I'm using the angled brush and kind of mimicking the growth, the direction of the natural hairs. Now that the eyes are finally done, I can move on and brighten underneath the eyes with Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Concealer. You see me patting it generously underneath the eye area, and once it kind of soaks into the skin, I then move in with a beauty blender and merge the concealer and the foundation together. Lighter shade of the concealer will draw more attention to the eye area. I then also wanted to define my wing even more, and here you see me using flat brush and even lighter shade of the concealer. And this will pop that line even more. If you're using this trick, be really careful. You need to go really close to the line and use a really flat synthetic brush for this. Now on to contouring, and I am using Kiko contouring stick, which is one of my favorite contouring sticks ever. Very easy to blend, very light in the consistency, and I'm using synthetic brush to blend everything in place. I'm applying the color and blending everything. Then I'm moving on to the jawline area and repeating the process again. All of this will add extra definition onto your client's face. You see me doing this on the other side as well. You see how quick and easy it is to blend this creamy stick. I find that this is one of these kind of like products that work with almost every foundation. I never had a problem blending it into anything, not even into double wear, which you guys know is one of the hardest foundations to blend anything in. And when working around the nose area, I'm switching to a flat eyeshadow brush and lightly contouring the nose area. Now, I don't like stripes on the nose, so I'm always very gentle with the shadowing. And the reason why I like this creamy contouring stick as well is it's impossible to overdo. If you applied a little too much and created a streak, just take a new brush or the same beauty blender with a little bit of foundation on it and just pat on top of it, and you will see how the lines just melt into the skin and disappear. And I'm repeating the process on the forehead too, just for that tiny definition around these areas as well. And once I'm happy with my contouring, I then moving forward and powdering everything. Powder is a crucial step in bridal makeup. Everywhere where we have used creams, we must powder. Otherwise, once the oils of the skin start producing, if you didn't powder the area, it is very likely that the creamy products will start moving around. When I powder my models or my clients, I also like to duplicate the color scheme. So here you see me using bronzing powder from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm applying it exactly in the same areas where I applied the cream contouring. This will ensure that everything will last longer and also intensify the color, making the face appear even more 3D. For the blusher, I chose one of my favorite luminous blushers from the brand Milani. This is a baked blush, and this color is 06 Luminoso, has a slight luminant finish to it. And I want to show you another little trick. I'm using jelly highlighter from e.l.f. and duplicating this highlighted area, which will create an extra definition and a little bit reflection of the light around this area. This is going to look really, really cool. But you need to make sure that you blend the highlighter really well so there is no harsh lines left. For the facial highlighter, I am going to be using this Carolina Herrera's Cream to Powder Highlighter. Very beautiful product, gorgeous packaging, and it also looks incredible on my brides. So I'm popping it on the middle of the nose, on the bridge of the nose, a little bit on the cupid's bow, underneath the brow bone, and of course on the highest points of the cheeks too. It's just such a beautiful highlighter. When working with the brides, it's very important to choose lip liners that will last long. And this time I'm using Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury. I find that her lip liners are ones of the most long-wearing ones, so I know that once it's on, it's on. And I'm currently really obsessed with overlining the lips. I know that not all of the private clients enjoy this look, but when working on my models, I know I can get away with this. And for the lips, I chose MAC Blossom lipstick, and I'm filling in all of the inner part of the lips. And you can see this is a little luminous lipstick, not super matte one. I love my brides glowing from head to toe, so now I'm going to highlight all of the highest points of the décolleté area with the highlighter from Carolina Herrera. You can see how nicely everything kind of reflects the light and glows. And we also set everything with a dewy setting spray from Anastasia Beverly Hills just for that long-wearing makeup. And here is my final bridal look on Natalia Ready. I really enjoyed creating this look for you. My goal here was to create a gorgeous bridal makeup look with the focal point on the eyes, and I think I'm pretty much succeeded. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed watching this video. I definitely enjoyed creating it for you. Thank you once again for watching, and I see you on my next one.